We are still in this together.
At KUAM, we're working harder than ever to bring you the very latest in coronavirus news.
We take our jobs as first informers seriously.
Asking the questions you want the answers to.
So thank you, Guam, for continuing to trust us to keep you informed.
Join KUAM News every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. on TV8 and streaming live on the KUAM News Facebook page for In Full Zoom, a half-hour program zooming in on efforts to rebuild Guam's economy. Nestor Lecanto will interview a panel of guests from the business sector via Zoom to discuss their ideas and suggestions on how the island can rebound from the devastating blow from COVID-19. From struggles to strategies to get Guam back on the road to economic recovery. Check out In Full Zoom Wednesdays on KUAM Digital and KUAM TV8 at 6:30 p.m. In Full Zoom is presented to you by Calvo Enterprises, Inc. Check KUAM.com or our mobile news app for additional showtimes.
No waiting in line to see your doctor or to pick up your medication. From tips to living a healthier lifestyle, nutrition and fitness, to the latest wellness trends. Stay healthy by checking in for your weekly dose of health news on Health Check every Tuesday on KUAM News Extra. Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage, with generations of Filipinos calling Guam home. KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by the Bank of Guam and KFC.
Join us in saluting those making strides and serving in our armed forces every Tuesday on the KUAM News Instagram account. These weekly posts round up profiles of Guamanians receiving accolades in the armed forces, those stationed on Guam making a difference in our community, and veterans being recognized for their service. Presented by Future Smiles Orthodontics. Build a brighter future with a brighter smile.
Catch The Link on Breeze 93.9 FM every weekday morning from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. with simulcast Mondays on TV8 and Tuesdays through Fridays on TV11 from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Chris and Sabrina connect you with the latest news and information of the day. The Link, only on the stations, networks, and digital media of KUAM Communications. Presented by IT&D, Calvo Enterprises, Inc. and Carrier Guam.
Plus Guam.com. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Starting now on Primetime, Nestor Lecanto brings you the very latest about a lawsuit filed by the ACLU challenging the island's abortion law. Plus, it was day 10 in the trial of Joshua Palacios, accused of murdering Keith Castro. And also tonight, when will the island's bars be able to open up again?
Hafa and good evening. I'm Tyler Matanani. More now on that legal challenge to Guam's abortion law by the American Civil Liberties Union. The suit was filed yesterday on behalf of two Hawaii-based doctors who say current statute prohibits them from serving abortion patients in Guam by telemedicine. Nestor Lecanto has more.
The lawsuit, filed on behalf of two Hawaii-based OBGYNs who are licensed on Guam, argues that while abortions are legal here, the statute requires they be performed in approved clinics and that patients must be counseled in person about the procedure. But the law is silent on telemedicine abortion services because they didn't exist when the statute was adopted in 1978. Alexa Colby-Molinas is an attorney with the ACLU.
It's about getting rid of medically outdated unnecessary laws that are blocking access to health care.
The last doctor to perform regular abortions left Guam several years ago. Co-counsel and local attorney Vanessa Williams says now patients have no choice but to go off island, which most can't afford.
It's not like they're just being inconvenienced. This has become impossible, and it's become a ban on their, constitutional right to seek this care.
They're hearing from patients who want access to care and want to come to care, but for many of them, the logistics and the financials are just too much.
The Hawaii doctors are seeking a preliminary injunction from the court that would allow them to counsel patients online on medication abortions or abortion pills.
Because of certain FDA rules, you have to be an authorized prescriber to prescribe it, which the doctors in Hawaii are. And there's, as far as we know, no authorized prescribers of that medication in Guam. Again, that's part of the lack of access.
Aside from the court action, the law can be updated by the legislature to accommodate medical and technological advancements. But Attorney Williams says she's gotten no indication that will happen.
In this lax election, I had the opportunity to ask the candidates this question: if they would be, if elected, would they help amend or revise laws that are unmedically necessarily and restricting access to abortion? And I can tell you that I don't think there was one elected senator who opted to answer the question or said they would do so.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
As expected, the abortion lawsuit is already drawing strong opposition from local Catholics. Father Mike Crisostomo, in explaining their pro-life stance, says the church supports individual rights.
But what about the constitutional right of the unborn? And I think that's important. That's an element that sometimes we don't speak about as if they're not even present, that life in that person does not count. And I think that's why the church has always stood for and will always stand for the right of the individual to be born and then to be considered a life from the moment of conception to its natural death.
Meanwhile, Catholic parishes across the island celebrated masses for the protection of the unborn this afternoon. The masses replaced the annual March for Life rallies that usually take place on the anniversary of the landmark Roe v. Wade decision.
This yearly march since 1973, in this month of January, since the decision of Roe v. Wade legalizing abortion, the church continues to be very active and a voice out there to remind people about the evil of abortion and the violence of abortion, and it continues to plague our families and the society that we live in. And so we hope that we can continue a peaceful and prayerful protest.
Prayer intentions for the unborn were recited, with churches tolling their bells at 4 p.m. in memory of the millions of unborn children killed through abortion. The government has rested its case in murder defendant Joshua Palacios' trial, and instantly afterward, defense counsel Tom Fisher motioned for dismissal. KUAM's Adriana Cotero reports.
I do not think that any reasonable juror could find him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The Attorney General's office has failed to marshal sufficient evidence to find him guilty.
Defense counsel Tom Fisher moves to dismiss the murder charges along with the special allegations attached from his client Joshua Palacios. The government is prosecuting Palacios for the July 28, 2019 fatal shooting of Keith Castro. Leading the case to trial, Assistant Attorney General Rochelle Canto opposed the dismissal.
In response, Your Honor, in the light most favorable to the people, we believe that there has been sufficient evidence presented at trial that a reasonable juror could find the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and we ask the court to deny defense's motion for judgment of acquittal.
The court ultimately sided with the government and the motion was denied. The defense has been instructed to prepare to move forward, as after 10 days of government witness testimonies, AAG Canto has rested. The final witnesses the prosecution called forward were law enforcement personnel who had a part in the investigation and arrest of the defendant. GPD Criminal Investigation Division Detective Peter Leon Guerrero testified that once Palacios was apprehended on August 2, 2019 in Barrigada, he interviewed him at GPD. Leon Guerrero testified that Palacios said he went to his mother's residence in the afternoon hours of July 28, 2019 to pick up his black Honda Civic, which he dropped to his cousin's house in Dededo.
He couldn't recall what he had done or where he had gone after dropping the Honda Civic to his cousin's residence. Mr. Palacios then stated that July 20, 2019 marked the 5th day he stayed awake and hasn't slept due to him excessively smoking ice. That when he smokes ice, he'll continue to smoke for about 4 to 5 days before he passes out. That his excessive drug use has caused him to have short-term memory or memory loss, which has been something he's been dealing with for years.
Further, Leon Guerrero testified that Palacios told him the last time he smoked ice was on August 1st, 2019, which caused him to pass out, and he awoke the next day to police knocking at the door. It was also learned during Leon Guerrero's testimony that Palacios and the co-character in the case, Thomas Taitano, are friends and met while incarcerated at the Department of Corrections. As we reported, Taitano was at large for days after the shooting. He self-surrendered on August 2nd, 2019, and escorted GPD to locating Palacios. He has since pled guilty to aggravated assault charges for beating Castro with a metal baton the night of the shooting. Leon Guerrero testified that Palacios stated he had never held and does not carry a firearm.
Did you question him about whether or not he knows Keith Castro?
Yes, I did.
And what was his response?
I believe it was something to the effect of, I don't know him, honestly, I don't know him.
Did he ever deny to you that he was at Gigo the night of the shooting?
No, he did not.
Sir, did you believe that Joshua Palacios was telling you the truth about whether he knew Keith Castro?
No, I did not.
What did you learn in the investigation that caused you to believe he lied to you?
That 2 or 3 days prior to the shooting, Mr. Castro was pulled over along Route 3 in Derulo for a traffic violation, and that Mr. Palacios was the passenger of Mr. Castro at the time.
Leon Guerrero testified that after the interview, he arrested Palacios. Trial resumes on Monday, February 1st at 9:30 a.m., with the defense calling up their first witnesses. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Governor Leon Guerrero signed an executive order today extending the public health emergency declaration another month to March 1st. Also in the executive order, at 8 a.m. February 1st, social gatherings will be raised to no more than 25 people. The executive order also cuts COVID-19 deferential pay for Category 2 Gov Guam workers on February 1st. Government of Guam employees not otherwise eligible for Category 1 will be compensated at their regular rate of pay, and differential for employees eligible under Category 1 will be reduced to 10%. There might be some light at the end of the tunnel for beleaguered bar owners who've been shut down for most of the pandemic. GVB President Carl Gutierrez said at a board meeting Thursday that he's appealing to Governor Leon Guerrero to allow bars to reopen ahead of the target relaunch of the tourism industry in April.
Yesterday, and I don't know whether she'll consider it more, but I said that, what she had done in opening up the businesses on Guam, a lot of the tourist businesses in restaurants has opened up at 50% capacity. Those owners have been staying within the protocol, being monitored by public health and social services. I sort of almost begged her to go beyond just the restaurants now and open up some of the bars.
Governor's Communications Director Crystal Paco-San Agustin says reopening bars is under serious consideration, but she had no timetable for it.
The Department of Public Health and Social Services to work with the Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association, to work with GHRA to develop the protocols so that we can safely open bars. So we can see that in the very near future. So Mary Rhodes was very instrumental in helping to develop the protocols for opening our restaurants and our dining establishments. So she again will be the lead in this.
She's encouraging bar owners to reach out to GHRA for more information. The Guam National Guard's vaccination initiative, Operation Liberate Guam, continued today at the EOG Cabell Fieldhouse. We bring you testimonies of those that have joined the vaccination so far. The Guam National Guard has been one of the island's most vital frontline workers, from manning the quarantine and isolation sites to assisting commodity distribution and contact tracing, and so much more. They continue to assist in the fight against COVID-19. Their most recent mission, Operation Liberate Guam, is a vaccination initiative that aims at achieving 80% herd immunity by July 21st, Liberation Day. One man, Ron Castro, has just joined the almost 5,000 Guamanians that have received full immunization. He explains how his wife, a public health personnel, is part of the frontliners working effortlessly to help Guam contain COVID.
She's been, the weekends and at the Okadu and things like that. So, yeah, it's been rough not being able to go out as like normal.
Franklin Taimanglo is another that has received full immunization. He explains why it's important to achieve immunity in the community.
It's a good time to get serious about it. And the proof is we have a lot of people that were sick that had the virus, a lot of people that had left us. This is just one way of beating that animal back. So hopefully everybody can come out and do their part, keeping everybody safe.
One woman, Miss Anita Matanani, shared a few tears as she explained the hardship of losing a loved one during the pandemic.
And when there's a death in the family these days, it's hard because that's not our culture. We can't hug each other and no, it's not. Everybody needs to take this, please. It's not easy when you lose a lot of your families. It's not easy.
Francis Cruz explains that it takes everyone in the community to do their part to bring back a healthier Guam.
This is a positive move. The vaccine, I pray that everybody takes advantage of this opportunity to get vaccinated. We can't just sit back and just say, well, we're not affected by it.
Guam National Guard Public Affairs Officer Mark Scott explains how it's an honor to add in the fight in support of public health.
We get to see the smiles of our manumku as they come through. These are our grandparents and our aunties and uncles coming through, doing the right thing, getting vaccinated, being a part of the solution.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime. Coming up, we tell you about the food distribution taking place tomorrow. You're watching KUAM.
Myself, and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Gila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
While we've all been through a lot over the years, typhoons, earthquakes, and now COVID-19, we've been able to get through these together.
For more than 80 years, Campbell's Insurance has been protecting your homes, your businesses,
and the health of your family.
We are here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
There are better days ahead. Tomorrow's a new day filled with hope and choices.
The possibilities of what we can achieve together are limitless.
Let's continue to work together to ensure a brighter tomorrow for all of us.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
And welcome back. In response to Minority Leader Senator Jim Moylan's request for an oversight hearing into allegations made against certain nurses assigned to the government quarantine facility in Tumon, Speaker Therese Terlahi responds to KUAM that, quote, public health has reviewed the matter and assured me that there are no pending issues, but we are requesting for the director to put his response in writing for formal consideration by the committee, unquote. As we reported, detailed allegations were made that certain nurses were allegedly drinking on the job, not answering patient calls, at the beach, and being paid hours they weren't even working.
But until I think the speaker receives that, most likely we're still open. I'm still open, and then we'll see what the response is in writing. Those are allegations that need to be dealt with, and it has brought to the table. And in our situation now, we're really entrusting we're relying on our government officials. Not to say that everybody is not doing their job, but if those are accusations are out there, let's clear that up. Put it in black and white. It's done, and we can move forward so we can maintain our trust in government.
The complaint was initially made with Adelup weeks ago, but they kicked it over to public health. And again, when asked earlier this week to clarify if it was actually under investigation, we were told by public health spokesperson Janela Carrera it was still under review. Copies of next fiscal year's executive budget request could reach senators as early as tomorrow. It will kick off a legislative review process that will culminate with the approval of a spending plan for the critical 2022 gubernatorial election year. Speaking today on the Link Multimedia show, Republican Minority Leader James Moylan said they got an advanced briefing on a reduced budget figure, but that budget director Lester Carlson is hopeful of an economic recovery that will come sooner rather than later.
Has been very optimistic and continues to be so because he feels within the next 7 months when we get this to the floor to discuss in the public hearings on the budget that things may turn around, and hopefully so. But in the meantime, we can only deal with what we do today, and that's what we know. And we're in a situation, as you mentioned, Bree, 11 million shortfall during this quarter when sales should have been high, when Christmas BBT should have been really high, when people should have been spending their money, but we already have a shortfall to start with. That's great concern for me.
The executive budget request is required to be submitted on the 31st of January. The legislature must pass a budget by the end of August. Today, President Biden is taking executive action to shore up the signature achievement of his time as vice president, the Affordable Care Act. Meanwhile, Democrats on Capitol Hill say they could take action on new COVID relief legislation as soon as next week. Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
Best way to describe them, to undo the damage Trump has done.
President Biden's latest executive order focuses on health care coverage, seeking to establish a special enrollment period on healthcare.gov from mid-February to mid-May. It also aims to strengthen Medicaid.
Of all times that we need to reinstate access to, affordability of, and extent of access to Medicaid is now.
The president also rescinded a ban on U.S. government funding for foreign nonprofits that perform or promote abortions. Meanwhile, a FEMA official says the agency is finalizing a request to the Defense Department for as many as 10,000 troops to assist in giving vaccinations at federally run sites nationwide.
Certainly not prepared under any circumstances and I guess I'm not getting off on the right foot with any. You talk timeline, budget, or number of soldiers.
White House officials held a call with Senate Democrats on Thursday to talk about the COVID-19 relief package. Democratic leaders say they are ready to move forward on legislation as early as next week.
If our Republican colleagues decide to oppose this urgent and necessary legislation, we will have to move forward without them.
Senate Democrats could use a procedural tactic involving the budget process, which would only require a simple majority vote.
It would be very disappointing, Madam President, if Democrats decided to shove a partisan bill through Congress without even attempting to work with Republicans.
The White House has signaled it's against splitting up the $1.9 trillion package into smaller measures. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The Guam Police Department responded to 2 murders this month alone, not to mention the endless list of other traumatic incidents they've dealt with and continue to deal with on a daily basis. That kind of consistent exposure to traumatic scenes can tear up the best of us. Now, several GPD personnel have begun peer support training. Sergeant Maggie Napati and PO3 Joseph Justin Edkaline.
JJ, you want to explain who Deb is? Dr. Deb, give her a bio.
The Guam Police Department has assembled a really awesome team, and this is unique to our department because we haven't seen this since the 90s. And we've been working hard at creating a peer support program to provide the support necessary to help our officers cope with some of the things that this job inherently comes with.
So our officers face trauma on a daily basis, and oftentimes they just don't have the conduit or the outlet to be able to understand what they're going through and express their issues and problems. And so it's very important for officers to get the help that they need
so that when they go back out and patrol out in the streets to help the public, that the public is getting a clear-headed officer that's able to do his or her job carefully.
In 2018, the New York Police Department saw high rates of officer suicides. Ed Killeen says that the issue isn't only in the mainland, but it's one that the entire law enforcement community faces. Through a grant from the Law Enforcement Mental Health and Wellness Act, GPD personnel will be undergoing training to offer emotional support to their fellow law enforcement officers as well as the greater community. Chief Steve Ignacio says the training was an effort to be proactive.
Can you introduce yourself, ma'am?
You can't just sit down and wait and wonder when you're going to get help. You know, we got to take leadership and ownership of this department, and I thank my staff, Officer Kulani, Sergeant Apathy, Sergeant Paul, and the rest of the peer support group for stepping forward and say, look, I want to be a part of the solution. I want to be help to my fellow officers so that we can continue to do the job that we're sworn to do.
Media was invited this afternoon to see how this program is beneficial with GPD employees. Catholic Social Services will be holding a food distribution drive-through on Saturday, January 30th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. while supplies last. Each bag contains a bag of eggs, bread, produce, and other canned goods. CSS Lisa Bordalio.
We're giving a bag of canned goods. Includes meats and rice and you're pretty, which is a very Chamorro canned goods. And then on top of that, we have a bag of groceries. Produce. IDI was helpful for us to procure some fresh produce, onions, potatoes, stuff to help out, and fruit, fresh fruit. And then we will have a loaf of fresh bread from Guam Bakery, and we'll have snacks from Ambrose. And so everybody's kind of, delivering these little donations here and there to get us a good, complete bag.
A total of 1,000 food bags will be distributed. Only one bag per vehicle will be given out. The food line will begin at the entrance of Rev and Tax. And coming up, a look at your weekend weather. You're watching KUAM.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Más.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at this weekend's island weather. Here's Landon Ideled from the National Weather Service.
We have a small craft advisory for seas, hazardous seas of 8 to 10 feet. That will continue through this afternoon. We're going to see a lull in seas and surf this afternoon and into Saturday, but then the seas will start to build late Saturday into Sunday and then onward into Monday. High surf advisory remains in effect for north-facing reefs through Monday morning, and there's also a high risk of rip currents for east and north-facing reefs through Monday morning. That's for surf of 9 feet or greater, generating those much stronger currents along the reefs. The fire danger remains at moderate, and for Micronesia, not so bad down there across Micronesia. Surf advisory is now in effect for Pohnpei, Palau, and Yap along the north-facing reefs, and not much change with the drought situation in Kaping and Merengue. Next slide.
Yep.
So for current conditions, we're looking at light winds northeast around 5 miles per hour, mostly clear skies and dry. And you mentioned earlier in the show, it's chilly out there. We bottomed out at about 72, 73 degrees earlier this morning.
Told you.
About 30 minutes ago, we were at 74 degrees. That's going to go up. Yesterday's high forecast was 84 degrees. And we just don't see that too often. But that's because one of those boundaries, as it was weakening, it just passed over our area the last couple of days. And so we're in that slightly cooler, drier air mass. That's why it's a little bit cooler on your skin in the morning. Like if you're going to go swimming in the water, you get out of that water, it's going to be pretty cold for just a few minutes until you dry off. Our records for the day was set in 1973 for a low of 68 and a high of 89 and 72. The normals are 85 and 75, and we're pretty close to that, except yesterday we did bottom out at 71. There was no rain yesterday. Record was set in 1963 for 2 inches and 2.13 inches. So next slide, this is our Facebook post yesterday showing what's the situation is. You see the cold front off to our east. That's moving on to the east and weakening. And those black lines going across Guam and the Mariana Islands, that's just the shear line, the farther extent of this boundary as it weakens. Surf advisories are starting to drop across the region as we go into the weaker sea mass or the weaker seas. But those swell are going to be building in from the north and northeast and bringing us to the seas. Next slides. This is the polar orbiting satellite showing the winds at the surface. We're in that lull right here over Guam and the Sinai, but the stronger winds are seen to the northwest, and that's all going to be coming our way this weekend. Now, the next slide, that shows the much larger picture of the region with Guam and Sinai in the red box in the center bottom.
Don't go away. We've got birthdays when we return. MTO Maintenance will now completely sanitize your home, office, or business with state-of-the-art commercial sprayers. For over 30 years, MTO Maintenance has been committed to the health and safety of our customers. And now, more than ever, a clean home, office, carpets, and furniture is a necessity to our island. Give us a call today. Stay healthy and stay safe, Guam.
Call 647-6861 for an appointment.
And here is your birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Happy Esta birthday wishes to all of our January 29th birthday babies. Led off by Rosalind Toves, who celebrates birthday number 9 today. To our beautiful princess, Rosalind Leanne Anu from Daddy and Mommy. They say, we love you so much. We hope you have a great 9th birthday. John Edward Leon Gurel, happy birthday to the most handsomest fireman. We hope your birthday is filled with laughter, love, and more awesome memories. We love you, John, says your beloved familia. Kalea Marie Evaristo, happy sweet one in all caps, coming from all of her nanas and tapas, grams and papas, mommy and daddy, and her family near and far. That is a lot of love coming from a lot of awesome people. They say simply, we love you. And also happy birthday number 14 on this January 29th to Jonica Villanueva, who celebrates a birthday today. So we hope you blow out the candles in a safe and happy way. Your family is sending all of their love.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your birthday your name and photo. And it's that time of the week where we announce the lucky winner of a Cold Stone Creamery birthday cake.
All right, this week's Birthday Club winner of a yummy ice cream cake from Cold Stone Creamery is Hadrian Ray San Nicolas Torres, who was born on January the 27th. We hope you and your family have a wonderful, safe, healthy, and a happy extended birthday. Glad to make your day.
That's going to do it for us here on Primetime. Thanks for watching. Good night and be safe.
All right.
right, guys, half a day. It's your boy Victorious, and welcome back to another episode of the One Mike Cornelia podcast. And now in this episode, I'm excited. I first came across this page 2 years ago. And I was like, wow, a page that just has everything Mike Cornelia I'm for. So I'm like, hit the follow. And it didn't really occur to me to reach out, and I just thought it was just a page that was all about promoting all culture and everything Micronesia. But it didn't really occur to me to reach out and find out who's behind that phone, who's behind the Instagram page. And just recently, I was like, I had to. So with me today, all the way out in Hawaii, I do have the good folks, the awesome folks behind the Micronesian Viral page with me today on the podcast. I'm just gonna have them jump in, introduce themselves, and where they're from. Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Hey, thank you so much.
Thank
So
you.
excited to be here.
I'm very honored. My name's Dexter. Nice to meet everyone, and then this is my wife.
Hi, my name is Brittany Elkhart, and so we're actually a married couple behind the page. And to kind of give you guys a background of where we're from, my mom is from Yap, so I'm Yapese. My dad is from Kosharai, so Mogatin and Lenwo. And
then I'm Marshallese, and then also part Kiribatis. So Yapkoi.
Awesome.
So, guys, I really have to say, I want to, every time I start a podcast here, I go back in time. So let's go back to the origin of the page. How did it first start? Why did it first start? So let's start there.
Okay. And so I guess when it first started, because we had our son, and then I was a stay-at-home mom. So this was around 2018. And I decided while I'm at home, I'm on maternity leave, I'm not able to go to our business meetings yet. Why not do something on social media to promote Micronesians? And so I thought, okay, maybe I'll do pictures, cultural pictures. People can send them to me. But in order for me to gain some followers, I gotta follow some people. So I just followed random Micronesian people. Next thing you know, I decided instead of using pictures, because I'm grabbing them from random places, I don't know who to credit. I was thinking, why not just do videos, since it's easier to find the source of, where they come from. And so because I started following random Micronesians, a lot of people started following me back. And then some people actually reached out to me and said, hey, can you post this video for me? And then, next thing you know, I started sending out okay, if people want to send me videos, why don't you guys give me these 3 things, which is your, where you're residing in, what island you're representing in Micronesia, and also what caption do you want me to use for the video? Because I wasn't really big or creative at the captions yet. I was still trying to learn the lingo of everybody, especially, with most of our followers are teenagers, some are adults, we have some young ones. And so basically we decided to do the page. Honestly, originally it was my idea, and he's very supportive. And he's just giving me ideas of okay, why don't you post this caption? Or why don't we start promoting Micronesian businesses too? Small businesses, also promoting creators, Micronesian influencers. And so with the videos, it became more of a page for everyone to come together and, posting everything Micronesian, especially because we come from a state in America where Micronesians, every time somebody hears the word Micronesian, they think, oh, that's a negative vibe right there. And so because there's a lot of different opinions, not a very good sight that people have for us, we decided people can think what they want, but we just want all of our people to come together, whether it's through videos and promoting each other and just enjoying each other's presence through the virtual world. So that's where it started. I guess our inspiration came from our son, because if it wasn't for him, then we wouldn't have been here today. So yeah, that's how it started.
Guam is truly a majestic place with its sheer natural beauty, wealth of beaches, and culturally rich landscape. Unfortunately, Guam has a real problem with unwanted invasive species. Help us in preventing their introduction and spread. The coconut rhinoceros beetle, the little fire ant, the African snail, Siam weed. These are just a few of the numerous invasives on Guam. Follow proper custom procedures when bringing plants and animals into Guam.
Help protect Guam. Tell your family and friends about invasive species.
To report invasive species, call 475-PEST.
Dexter, you want to jump in? What was your role in all this? I mean, you know, she was at home and then she created this page. And I know you're off to work every day. So what was your role in making this page?
Honestly, I came in a little after. I was just on the side at first. I was like, oh, maybe she might, you know, it's good that she has something to do at first. And then as things progress and started to kick off, I was just, oh, maybe I should help out. Like whatever ideas that she had, she would share with me. And we would just kind of like, you know, discuss about it. Okay, what should we do? Who should we let in? Or, you know, who should we not? Or should we talk to this person? Should we post this? And then, you know, just kind of seeing whether or not, you know, just as we, you know, keep going forward, I just like mostly just give her ideas and then more of a support role, I guess I would say. And then, like, for example, one of the things that we've been talking about is doing a giveaway, but as time goes on, we're like just waiting, seeing when's the best time to do so. So stuff like that. I guess I would also say the financer, so whatever equipment she needs and stuff like that, I would help with that as well. And so I guess that's mostly my side of the, you know, as things, you know, progress.
It's definitely been a journey.
It definitely is. I mean, like Britt, you said you started from just posting pictures, and then, you know, and you kind of, you saw other people and how other pages react, and, you know, it's not only about pictures. You moved on to video, and then how you guys have your posts now, where it's all like a meme type post, and it's just amazing how, you know, you start from one thing, and then your posts kind of grow and evolve over the years. And seeing what it is now, I mean, you see a post like that, you don't even have to look at where it came from. You already know it's from Micronesian Viral.
Yes, definitely.
And that's beautiful, and that's key. You know, in the social media world, in the digital world, you have to have something that says, or just pretty much has your name over it. Even though people, like I said, don't even know, have to find out where it came from. They just need to see that layout, you know, and it says Micronesian Viral over it, all over it. So it's beautiful how you guys evolved from day one until today, with, you know, over 24,000 followers, with 800 some posts and growing. I want to jump right into, I guess we talked about the followers, and I'm gonna get back. Let's roll it back, just talk about the followers. So, and I know you didn't just start with 24,000 followers. I'm pretty sure you started with 1 or 2. Britt talked about how she started to go follow other people. How was that journey along with? Were some people just saying like, "Oh no, I don't even know who you are. I don't want to follow you"? How was that journey, trying to get followers?
I guess because we first started out as anonymous people, so we just decided to run the page as we have no face. It's just a page so far. And then people would ask from time to time, like, "Oh, who runs this page?" And we would just give hints, like, "Oh, you know, it's a couple, and we do have a child, and we're just running it together." And so I guess how I started, you know, with the followers, how it increased is I just continue. First, I started following family, friends, and then, but they still didn't know who we are. So most of them wouldn't follow us back. And then we started following just random Micronesian people. You know, you can just tell by people's profile pictures who are Micronesian and who's not. So we just did that. And then at some point, we actually we didn't want to do that, but we had to unfollow people because we were having issues with our direct messages. Like, we were receiving videos from people who don't follow us, but not from people who do follow us. And so we just decided, oh, instead of trying to fix it, we'll just leave it like that. That way it's easier for people to find all the Micronesian influencers, creators, and businesses on the people that we do follow. So we decided to leave it like that. And You want to dig deep into how else we gain followers and friends?
Actually, you kind of answered out. Yeah, that was basically how we. Yeah.
And I want to ask, what was the turning point for the page? What was it? A post? Was it somebody who shared it and then it went viral? There had to be a turning point because now you guys are growing and everybody knows the page. What was the turning point?
Oh, that's a good question. So, I think the turning point was from one of our most viral videos. I think it had like about 200,000 views. And so it was a video from Guam where these teenagers were dancing to a song, and then the people in the front of the video were like really killing it. So, I guess that video went super viral, and from there people were started following us. And then when we started posting other videos that went viral, for example, these Marshallese boys who were rapping, like they were just, it was really funny. They were rapping like gibberish, and you could tell it wasn't the Marshallese language because we would know. And so when we saw that, everybody thought it was funny. And it was just those, like, not all of our videos go viral, but those were some of the, like, two of the many videos that first set off our follower count. So from there, it increased, and then
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist. Over 20 years of experience.
it increased, and then
And what would you think? Why did you think people were more attracted to that video? Why do you think that was the turning point? What was in the video? Because I'm going to pull the video up right now. I'm going to ask, if I get the video and then pull it up as we talk in post production. But why did you guys think this video was so attractive to people?
Well, I can speak mostly for the second one that she mentioned. It was just a really funny video, and then I guess it really set out like a good vibe for everyone. But mostly because they did something daring. I wouldn't. I guess I can't say it right now. But at the end of the video, they. It was really funny. That's all I can say.
Yeah. And also, I think the main thing is because everybody knows, like, Micronesian humor is different from everybody else's humor. Like, they just know, like, oh, this is something that Micronesians would do, or the way they laugh, like, that's such a Micronesian laugh. And you can tell just by looking at the video, like, oh, these are Micronesian people. And every time we do post a video, we always put like hashtag Micronesian pride, and whichever island they're from, hashtag Marshallese. And so I think that's what draws people in is, they just know that they automatically know it's Micronesians.
Yeah.
So,
but I think the biggest part is, especially when she started adding or crediting people, I think that the recognition for most of our viewers is what's really key for them when they send in videos, not just for themselves, but I see a lot of like other people sending for people that they love, that they want, the light shine on them a bit. I think that's what really, set it off. For example, when she started doing that.
And now leading us to our next part of the talk here is content. And it's key when you nowadays, Instagram is in the social media world, it's a very competitive stage where you just have to keep trying to put things out there that can grab people's attention every single second, because if you lose them at 1 second, you probably lost them for a day. So that's and I know you guys are digital content creators of a page that has about 24,000 plus followers. So that the attention grabbing is key. So let's talk about the content. We talked, Brittany, you talked about the first stages of the page where it was just pictures, and then it grew onto that. So what kind of content for maybe those who are listening on the podcast right now or watching us on TV? What kind of content can people find on Micronesian Viral?
Okay, and so they can find some of it is from Micronesian businesses. They might see things that we share from other people that we network with. And also some of them are humorous videos. We try to post as many cultural videos, that way more people who are Micronesian and are not Micronesian can be educated more on, you know, especially the dances that we do, the things that we practice, maybe things such as like, you know, Micronesian, their manners and everything. And so just mainly the culture, businesses, and also just things that other people can relate to, talents. So singing, if people like to rap, and we also try to keep it as appropriate as we can, because there are a lot of young people who follow us. So it's more like a family page. So you can, if you know, if people are willing to send out their videos, whether they're in Micronesia, as long as you're Micronesian, we will look at your video and we'll definitely see what we can do with it, whether post it on our story or on our page. So that's pretty much the content that we put out.
And I also read somewhere that you guys, you know, other pages out there just think of followers as followers, but you guys are kind of different because you think of your followers as family. And I think that's why the content is really, I'm going to say clean. You know, anybody could just go on your page and watch any content on it, and it'd be really family friendly. And I think that's what's the beautiful thing about your page is it's pretty much for everybody. And, you know, and one of the cool things that I saw on your page was you're all about the Micronesian movement and how we're pushing for good vibes every time. So I've seen a lot on your page. I know when unfortunately today we remember Kobe Bryant. I know you guys did a post on Kobe Bryant. I think it was a video from the Marshall Islands. Was it Dexler? I think it was that it?
I think so. If I remember correctly,
I think it was like a basketball post. I think it was a team or somebody made a video of how, you know, because basketball. Yes. Exactly. I mean, basketball in the islands is a big sport. Basketball, track and field, volleyball. You know, those are some big sports in the islands. So, seeing that, you know, go out and you guys, you know, was that your post or was that a post you guys were sharing?
It was a post from one of the media teams that we know, and they usually film in the Marshall Islands. They're called Voices Rising. So we share some of their things too.
And you know, you talk about that. We talk about there are many groups out there who are for the movement of, you know, when you talk about the Marshall Islands, you talk about global warming, you know, and how that's affecting the islands. And we've seen that and all throughout Micronesia. So you guys are there as well, helping out with pushing the information out when it comes to climate change movements, and then it's a really good mix, and that's what I'm saying. It's a page for everybody, and it's all about sharing information that's key in our lives today.
So we tell people, you know, just send us whatever you have so that way we can promote it, because 24,000 followers, it's not just for ourselves, it's for everybody in our community. So yeah.
In 24,000, you think about it, you've created a group of people, pretty much a group of people to share information with, you know, and you know what the cool thing about it, and I was about to say, you know, having a page like this and continuing to do so good and could, you know, push it forward and the next, I hope, you know, to you guys not give up on this, because this is beautiful. Because maybe just one day, Justin Bieber goes on and just so happens to click on Micronesian Viral. Justin Bieber doesn't even know where Guam or Micronesia is, or Palau or the Marshall or Yap. But just one day he clicks on that page and he was like, oh my God, what is all this comedy? What is all this dancing? What is all this singing? Where is this talent coming from? You know, just one day Justin Bieber clicks that page and just one share from him, the world will see everything that they need to know about Micronesia, and it's all on your page.
Right. Yes, most definitely. That's a goal, is, you know, to have someone who's probably not better than us, but bigger than us, has more exposure. Our goal is just to get our people's name out there.
I also love about it, I just read that just before we jumped on the podcast, is you guys are not only about content and good vibes through Instagram, but you guys give back. And I saw that. I was like, what? I got to ask them about this. So you guys are giving back as well. How is that?
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah. You want to
Yeah.
tell more about
Sure. Yeah. I mean, basically, so we go out to the community, mainly not just Martinesians, but we would love to like help out them as well. But basically, we do work in finance, and one of the things that we do, as you know, we give away for our community is we do free financial plans for whoever is like, you know, they see that, you know, finance is something that they feel important to them. We definitely we would love to help them out, and so that's one of the things that we do on the side as well. You got anything?
Yeah, and that's actually how we met. We met in our financial services company, and so I know we used to be out in Guam, and so our company is called Primerica, and now I think it's only just in the United States, Canada, Puerto Rico, and so our goal is to open up an office here within the next 5 years, somewhere on the west side of Oahu, and basically we just want our main goal is to financially educate others, especially our people, on how money works, and basically also help them to apply it. And that's pretty much how we met, is in our company, and we've been together for about 5 years, and we just got married actually last year in
Wow.
7/7/2020.
Congratulations. I got to throw that in. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So yeah, it's been a journey. Now we use our Micronesian viral page to promote our financial services business. That way we can help as many people as we can, especially in Oahu, and we plan on expanding to other states soon, especially in Ohio, Washington, pretty much wherever we have family and friends that we know. So maybe in all 50 states. So that's pretty much what we do in our personal life.
Yeah, because the main goal. Oh, sorry.
No. So I was going to ask, so you guys are talking about a company. Is this your company or is this a company you work for?
Yeah, it's definitely a company we work for. So we use it as a vehicle to help our people more. Definitely more than we want to. So yeah.
And Dex, you were about to say something?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So basically, we're for us, our goal was to mainly because I noticed how no one was really educating, especially the Martinesian community, about finance. You know, how to buy a house the correct way and stuff like that. So we thought, you know, it'd be best to do something like that in that area. And so as time progressed, we decided that we would love to share that as well with the Martinesian viral community. And so yeah, that was one of our goals.
So having you guys out there doing that's just something beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely one of our passions, and we love doing it. And at the same time, we love doing Micronesian viral. So it kind of all fits together. Ever since we came out and, you know, revealed ourselves, we decided, why not promote our own business? And then eventually we're going to do some things for Micronesian viral, like coming out with merch and stuff, probably at the end of this year if it works out. So we'll let you know how that goes.
Throw it out there before we close. What's a message that you guys want to tell your followers and everybody out there who maybe haven't gotten to visit your page? You know, what's a message that you guys want, or what's a theme, what's a goal for the page?
Mainly, of course, the good vibe. You know, everyone's welcome to come onto the page, just to kind of help them, because I know there's a lot of negativity around the world, and so we would love for them to stop by and, you know, check the page out. But as we grow, you know, the biggest main goal for us is to kind of create that awareness. Like you say, you know, when people like hear of Micronesians, it's like, you know, kind of frowned upon. And I know some of the people in the mainland, actually, I heard that they say, you know, when they mention Micronesian, some people are like, what is that? So just to kind of, you know, create that awareness, you know, positivity and that information of who and what we are, you know, what we represent as a Micronesian, as family, as Marshallese, you know, Yappies, you know, the different type of cultures, the different type of languages, what we bring to the community, to the world. That's, I feel, is the biggest goal for us. And so, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I think in terms of numbers, I say our goal by the end of this year, hopefully we can get to 50,000 followers. So that way, every year we just move up. We keep moving up. More people can know who we are, what we stand for, and it just brings the whole Micronesian community together through positivity and everything. So yeah, definitely that's one of our main goals.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much. Like I said, I'd like to get you guys back here, maybe in a couple months to find out how things are going. But it was such a really an awesome thing here to meet you guys and to talk to you guys and find out how it all started for Micronesian Viral and how it's going and to find out the story behind it. This is beautiful.
Thank you.
No, yeah, we're honored. Yeah, because when she mentioned that you wanted to do an interview with us, I was like, oh, okay, wow. That's awesome. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, thank you guys so much, guys. There you have it. It's Brittany and Dexler, the beautiful folks behind Micronesian Viral. Go ahead, if you haven't followed Micronesian Viral, I mean, what are you waiting for, man? Go hit that follow button. Go follow them and enjoy the many beautiful content that says Micronesia is beautiful and always comes out with good vibes. So go follow Micronesian Viral and show them the love. And that's all we got on the podcast here. There goes another one. My name is Victorious, and I hope you guys will check us out at the next podcast. Until then, you guys have a great and awesome day.